Hey everybody, Cynthia here from the Scrappy Bookworm. I'm currently working on a layout today that I am hoping to finish it, but I'm not sure if I will. But anyway, this is the layout. I haven't even really put it together so far that I'm working on. And I was playing with my alcohol inks, just splotching here and there, and you know, just inking stuff up and having fun. And as you can see, I'm extremely messy. But anyway, I had cut a dress form out of beige, like a real light beige colored cardstock. And I'm going to put it somewhere, probably somewhere on here on the layout. I'm not sure yet. But I want it to give it like an aged, distressed kind of look to it. And I wasn't really sure what to do. So I came up with two different looks, and I stopped what I was doing and decided I'm going to show you what I did to come up with these two looks, in case you're interested in making something similar. Okay, so this was the first one that I came up with, okay, which I think looks kind of cool in itself. Almost like maybe, oh, sorry guys, almost like, you know, aged metal or something. I don't know. I thought it looked pretty, and then I did a second one with a little bit heavier on the gesso and came up with that look. So I like them both, but I'm thinking I kind of like this one a little bit more. I'm not sure yet. And then instead of using black soot, I thought, I'm gonna see what the vintage photo and the I think this is tea rose, tattered rose, sorry, would look like. And that's how that one turned out. And I think they look really cool. And yeah, I'm gonna keep playing. I'm gonna try all different types of distress inks, but I'm going to show you what I did to get this look, okay, and then you guys can play around and see what you can come up with. So basically I just used, like I said, a light beige cardstock, and I cut out my dress form. I have this one right here I'm going to play with, and then I used caramel and ginger alcohol inks. And I just made some nice big splotch. I'm going to show you how I did this one, because I'm going to make a second one of this one, okay? Basically, you're going to do the same technique for both. You're just going to use different colored distress inks. Like this one, I used black soot. And this one, like I said, I used vintage photo and the tattered rose, okay? So I just took my caramel and I made some splotches with that, and I'm basically just tapping on the alcohol ink bottle. I'm not squeezing, I'm just tapping, okay? And then I took the ginger and I did the same. I like to play around and make a mess. Okay, that's enough of that. So let me get my rag, move this aside, and clean that up. Okay, let me just make sure that's dry. Okay, so basically I just played around with it like that. Then I took my white gesso, and obviously I just used my finger, and I just kind of blended it in all around. Add a little here, add a little there. Nothing real, you know, just kind of added it, played with it, and, you know, looked at where I wanted it to go. Okay, so it's gonna look like that. Let me wipe that up. Add a little more water here. Alrighty, gonna use my heat tool again to dry. Sorry about the noise. Okay, that is nice and dry. So then I went ahead and inked it up with the vintage photo, and I just kind of pushed it in really good and heavy. Hopefully I am not shaking the desk too much. You can hear the kids playing outside. Must be that time. I don't even know what time of day it is. I just was busy up here playing around. Okay, so basically I covered the entire thing with the vintage photo, and that looks good in itself, but I just went ahead, took plain old water in a little spray bottle, and I spritzed it. I don't know if you guys can see what's happening on camera, but it's just bringing out more of the gesso. I'm gonna add a little bit more water. You guys see that, how that's forming? I think that looks so cool. You could even dab a little here and there, but you don't want to dab off too much of the vintage photo. So I'm just going to go in and let me wipe this off here. I'm going to go in and dry that up a little. Okay, gives it that look. And then I went in, and I just added some tattered rose here and there. I know some of you probably don't like to get messy, but I don't mind. I'll just really scrub my hands really good later. And yes, when I was a kid, I loved playing with finger paint. Okay, so I'm gonna spritz it again with water. Okay. And I'm going to dry that up a little bit. I'm just going to go back in and add a little bit more of the vintage photo here and there, because it kind of spritzed off, I think, a little too much. Okay, and that's it. That's all I did. And then I took the acid-free paper Mod Podge, and I added a nice coat of that on. Get that out of the way. I actually like the look of this one better, because when I did this one, I did Tattered Rose first, then Vintage Photo. This one I did Vintage Photo first, so the background got a little bit darker than this. So that's the only difference. When I went in and did this one, I first started out, like I said, with the Tattered Rose. Then I spritzed it, dried it, went back in with Vintage Photo, spritzed it, and then went back in a little bit with the Tattered Rose. This one, I started Vintage Photo first, spritzed, Tattered Rose, spritzed, and then the Vintage Photo. Finished it off a little bit with that. So let me dry this completely. Okay, and that is the end. Let me get a piece of paper so you can see it better. That is the end result. I think they look pretty cool. I like the look of both of them actually. The Tattered Rose first is a little bit lighter, and I like this with the Vintage Photo first. It's a little bit, you know, more depth and darker to it. And like I said, this one here, I used the black soot. Where the heck is it? Yeah, this one right here. And each time I used the same two alcohol inks, ginger and caramel. Okay, so I hope you guys like them, and I don't know, I just wanted to share it with you. I thought they looked kind of cool, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna share this, and you know, maybe you guys can play around with your inks and see what you can come up with. So thank you guys for watching. I'll probably be back later, hopefully today or maybe tomorrow, to show you guys the finished layout. So take care, have a good day.